I'm good.
All right, ready? All right, well, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out. I'm really excited to be here to talk about something that is really important to our community and talking about an issue on how we're going to keep our community safe. I'm Dexter McCoy. I have the great honor of serving as County Commissioner here in Precinct 4. And today I am joined by Constable Patrick Quincy of Precinct 4, our District Attorney Brian Middleton, County Attorney Bridgette Smith-Lawson, and Chris DeBayan, our Assistant County Engineer. Fort Bend County has seen an increase in its share of the population that resides in unincorporated areas, which means that it's outside of the jurisdiction of city services. The majority of Precinct 4 residents actually live in these areas, which makes the issue of code violation enforcement in our neighborhoods a very major issue. Since getting here in office, we've received an alarming number of complaints from residents about commercial vehicles that are parked on the streets in our neighborhoods. You will have a box truck that's parked overnight in front of someone's home. You will have them crowding our streets, and it makes people ultimately feel less safe. It makes property less valuable, and ultimately the quality of life in communities greatly diminished. On Thursday, May 14th, at my request, Fort Bend County's Commissioner's Court approved agreements for 3 new deputies in the Precinct 4 Constable's Office. These deputies will be funded entirely from sales tax revenues from our county assistance district. So no property taxes are being used to fund this unit, but this is our way of ensuring that we still deliver critical services at a cost savings for our property owners. Residents in unincorporated areas of Fort Bend should not have to worry about whether their roads are being safe and are being patrolled. They shouldn't have to worry about their neighbors leaving large commercial vehicles near their lawns in the areas where their children play. This unit, overseen by Constable Quincy, will be trained specifically on how to respond, document, and investigate these code violations. With approval and funding in place officially now, all that's left is to hire the new deputies, which I believe they are already on their way to doing, and start patrolling this summer. In conclusion, I want to let our residents know that we hear you. And when you ask something of us, we do our darndest to make sure that we deliver for you, because that's our job, first and foremost, to make sure that our communities are safe. And secondly, to make sure that everyone is able to live a quality life here in Fort Bend County. I'm going to pass it over to Constable Quincy.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Constable Patrick Quincy, the Precinct 4 Constable in this area. I want to start by, it's not a coincidence that you see these community leaders up here, because when we work together as a collective, we better serve our community. That's what they elected us to do. And this is in direct response to numerous complaints that we get over and over again about commercial vehicles parking illegally in our neighborhoods. And make no mistake about it, this isn't a problem of inconvenience. This is a public safety issue. Because when these box trucks, and you could probably relate to this in your own neighborhood, kids are playing in these communities. You know, and when you're driving down these narrow streets in these communities, and there are commercial vehicles parked on the roadway, particularly overnight where there's low visibility, it causes significant risk to the safety of our community. So I'm very fortunate to have the support of our commissioner, as well as our district attorney and county attorney, to enforce this. I was very pleased to have his support on this initiative, so we can go out there and enforce these issues. This will be primarily targeted with commercial motor vehicles, but it also applies to other traffic enforcement issues also. We just need to be aggressive. We don't want to react to issues. We want to be proactive in our approach. So that's the reason why this is a very important issue. And thank you for coming out, letting us highlight these issues that we're facing. But again, this is in direct response to the community concerns, and I'm proud to be able to address those with our community leaders here today. Thank you.
And now I invite our County Attorney Bridgette Smith-Lawson.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you all for being here. It's a great day in Fort Bend County, and I say that because we are working in partnership to make our community safe. What you will find is that we're going to be using civil remedies in complements with law enforcement to make our community safe. And I can't echo the message enough that has already been shared. This is what it looks like when people work together. Your leaders work together when we respond to our community and to their concerns. And not only respond, but also moving proactively. We want to make sure that a tragedy does not occur. So these civil regulations will be used in support of law enforcement to simply just make our community safe. So if you have a commercial vehicle, whether it's a box truck or a diesel truck, I would encourage you to go ahead and get it moved because we will be moving it. So again, Fort Bend County, we're working to make your community safe, our community safe, because we all work here. We all play here. We have children here, and we want to make Fort Bend County the best county in the state. Thank you so much.
And now our District Attorney, Brian Middleton.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is what you see is a fine example of community policing. That is working with our community as law enforcement to solve a problem. We've come together, created a solution to prevent what I would call value destroying encroachment. We spend a lot of money on our houses. We want to live in nice neighborhoods, and we don't want to pull up and see these big 80,000-pound vehicles driving down our streets, creating potholes and endanger our children. So thank you, Commissioner, and to Commissioner's Court for authorizing this, and thank you, Constable and our County Attorney for leading this effort. I think we're going to see a safer community. When we have commercial vehicle inspection and enforcement, it saves lives because these vehicles are very heavy. If their equipment fails, it can lead to accidents and lead to death. So thank you to everyone that has participated in this. And again, Fort Bend County is better because of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I mentioned we've gotten a number of complaints about commercial vehicles parking in our communities. And typically what that, in an area where folks live in unincorporated parts of Fort Bend County, we don't have the ability to pass an ordinance that says we ban all commercial vehicle parking within neighborhoods. But what residents can do is that they can request a change in our traffic control plan that allows us to enforce where commercial vehicles cannot park in our community. So I'm going to invite our Assistant County Engineer, Chris DeBayan, who will explain what that process looks like, and for any community that's interested in banning commercial vehicle parking in front of their homes, how they can go about doing it. Chris?
Good morning. For installing no parking signage, we essentially have two options that the Texas Transportation Code gives to us. The first is if it's a smaller scale problem in very limited areas where no one else needs to really park, but the trucks have found this area and they tend to park there a lot. They can contact us and we can install just a general no parking signage that applies to all vehicles, but it will which includes the commercial vehicles. That just requires a simple vote of passage by Commissioner's Court. When it's a widespread problem and we don't want to have to put no parking signs in every area, the state law does allow us to put a single sign at each entrance of the neighborhood banning overnight commercial vehicle parking. The catch for that is that it does require the submission of a petition representing 25% of the neighborhood. In either of those cases, we ask that you contact your HOA to have them interface with us. It just works better for them to be a single point of contact. They're much better at disseminating information to and collecting information from the neighborhood. So have them contact us. That email address is traffic@fbctx.gov. And if you need a petition, they'll help circulate that, get it to us, and then we can get that passed by Commissioner's Court and get those signs installed for them to be enforceable. Thank you.
So that's the reason why we're here. It's all about how we keep the people in Fort Bend County safe and improve the quality of life for every resident who seeks to call it her home. So with that, we will be open to any questions that you might have.
So just to be clear, this is only for precinct 4?
Yes, this is only in precinct 4. That's correct. And we're thankful for the support of my colleagues. This passed with unanimous consent, again, using county assistance district funding. We have about 22 county assistance districts in Fort Bend County. This is how the county is allowed to collect sales tax revenue, because our only funding stream by law is through property tax. That's how we fund all of the operations of the county. And cities have the ability to collect sales tax revenue. But in our unincorporated areas, the state passed a law several legislative sessions ago that allowed us to collect 2 pennies of sales tax revenue in unincorporated areas. And so we use that to do all sorts of things like infrastructure projects, build parks and recreational facilities, and public safety initiatives like what we're talking about here today. And so this is only in those areas that we will be able to enforce this.
What are the most problematic areas in your jurisdiction?
We've gotten a number of complaints in the Mission Bend area. Town West is another area. Some of our older communities is where we see the heaviest volume of commercial vehicle parking, and that's where we've had a number of petitions. We also, in some of our newer neighborhoods, are starting to see an uptick in complaints as well. You can drive right down the street from our office here in the Veranda subdivision. They're one of our more recent communities to ban commercial vehicles via petition. And so we'll continue to work to support this, but this is widespread. As more people move to the community, we start to see more of this sort of activity. If you want to add anything on that.
Yeah, and I was actually at a community meeting last night, and one of the first things they mentioned was complaining about the commercial vehicle parking there. So when the commissioner mentions this is a widespread problem, it's all over our precinct. So we're fortunate enough to have some teeth now to be able to go out and aggressively enforce it.
Talk to us about those measures, how you guys are going to enforce these, through tickets, through warnings, how is that going to?
Well, primarily, it'll be a kind of a 2-pronged issue, right? We have patrol deputies that are already patrolling some of these areas. So we're training them to kind of be on the lookout for potential violators. And actually, we already have a sergeant that's over this unit, be Sergeant Drake here. He's going to be taking those. They'll also be out patrolling, looking for violations when we get complaints, because complaints come into our office and also the commissioner's office. They'll be going out investigating those complaints. And it's not just ticketing. We have the ability to tow those vehicles that are parked illegally also. So we'll be enforcing, we don't want to go out and get heavy-handed before people kind of have an understanding of what we're doing out there. So warnings initially will be stickering vehicles, kind of giving them notice that this vehicle is illegally parked, and giving you a small time frame to have it removed. If it's not removed, then we'll be looking to tow those vehicles off the scene.
And we've also seen, and we're right now working on efforts to be able to try to enforce along some of our roadways. You'll see driveway cutouts. The 1464 being the more prominent one, where you will see folks also parking vehicles that they're selling as well. They're using it as their makeshift car lot. And so we've been working with engineering, road and bridge, and our constable's office to be able to get to shut that sort of activity down. We also are having to coordinate with some of our partners in tech, with TechStop, to be able to make that happen. So this is all about how we clean up our community and make it a safer, more vibrant place. Yes, ma'am.
Again, just to be clear, this has to do strictly with parking in residential areas and really does not address speeding or parking in non-residential areas?
So this is a patrol unit. So we have more deputies that will be on the street. So certainly they will also be taking care of other traffic violations. as any other deputy would. So what residents should know is putting more boots on the ground to help with those sorts of things and catch them when they happen.
You're right. It's not just parking. I get calls about these dump trucks that are speeding, driving aggressively through residential areas. We're also addressing those also. So it's not just parking. Yeah, it's primarily focused on commercial vehicles, but it's traffic enforcement. So this is just putting more deputies out on the street to be able to keep our community safe and stop the flagrant traffic violence.
Anything else? All right. Well, thank y'all so much. We'll hang out if y'all had any more individual questions. But aside from that, thank y'all so much for coming out.